Hi, I'm Scott Salvati, and welcome to this recorded webinar about a fractional CMO's role and how it can help you with predictable growth for your business. So, who am I? I'm the principal of Lighthouse Marketing Services and a fractional CMO or fractional Chief Marketing Officer. I've helped businesses scale the revenue through marketing since 2000. I'm an expert on the evolving landscape of marketing strategy, digital marketing, sales, and remote teams. I'm always looking for a win-win outcome for business owners and their team members. I am a University of Iowa alum, so go Hawks. I am married to my wife Kim. I've got 2 grown boys, and I am a proud grandpa. I'm also a Cubs fan. I am a hopeless Bears fan, and I am an itchy golfer, which is quite a bit different than what a scratch golfer is by about 15 to 20 strokes. Today, in addition to the marketing services agency that I run, I personally advise and coach small and medium-sized businesses to help grow their reach, revenue, and impact. All of these companies follow the functional marketing framework that I provide, and that's what I'm going to show you today in what I call a fractional CMO's Guide to Predictable Growth Acceleration, subtitled The Framework for Building and Scaling Your Marketing to Produce Predictable Growth Now. So you're asking, who's this for? This is for any ambitious business owner or management team that's looking to grow. I say ambitious because ambition is defined as a strong desire to do or to achieve something, typically requiring determination or hard work. So if you don't have a strong desire to achieve success as a business leader, this webinar may not be the best use of your time. But if you do want to develop a winning marketing strategy and execute on that strategy to generate predictable growth in your business, stay with me for the next 20 minutes or so. So first, why a fractional CMO? And better yet, why in the heck would I use one for my organization? It's a completely fair question. Let's ask the question, what is a fractional CMO? So a fractional CMO is a part-time executive, and in this case me, who runs your marketing team and is responsible for all of your marketing outcomes. A good fractional CMO will find out what your goals are and what's worked so far and create a comprehensive marketing plan to achieve those goals through strategy, execution, analytics, and what I call in-game adjustments. So I coached boys lacrosse for 10 years, so I speak in sports analogies, so please forgive me. As a head coach, I had a playbook for the guys to learn and execute plays from. But like any sport, sometimes that playbook needed to be tweaked on the fly. Maybe the other team was running a zone defense, or they had a stud attackman that we needed to double team and force the ball to less effective players. Or maybe their goalie was great at saving shots high, but struggled with lower shots on goal. We'd adjust our plan to try and win the game. It's the same in marketing. Strategy rarely works 100% of the time. You need to evaluate what is working and what doesn't, and what needs a little massaging, i.e. in-game adjustments, to make your marketing plan more effective. Along the way, we'll make sure that your team is performing well and in good spirits, which is important. If they don't exist, I'll put in the systems and processes to make your marketing department a reliable asset to your company. And that's what we do for organizations. We love to hear what your goals are, and we help you reach them with marketing that gets great results. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a fail-proof technique to building a winning marketing strategy that is a perfect fit for your business. Even if you've tried dozens of campaign ideas before, we'll show you how it will multiply your marketing results by 5 times, 10 times, or even 20 times from campaigns, trade shows, and in-person networking. It's going to provide certainty to exactly what your marketing should look like this month, this quarter, and for the next 2 or more years. We'll show the exact step-by-step process to execute your winning marketing strategy without hiring an expensive agency or a high-priced consultant. We'll outline a framework on how your business must function for maximum output and results. This is critical for your marketing department and every other department. And we'll walk through the 7 stages of the functional marketing framework, which will train you on exactly what's needed for a successful, robust, and inclusive marketing strategy for your business. We'll see the root cause of your marketing campaign flops. If you fix this one thing, you'll keep more of your revenue. And finally, how to destroy the what should our next marketing campaign be question once and for all. So does this all sound a bit like a cheesy infomercial? And really, why am I giving you all this info when you can take it and do it on your own? The answer to the first question is yes, it's definitely cheeseball. But the answer to your second question is of why I'm giving you all this is because I know how to design the playbook, coach the team, and win the game. A playbook without a good coach is worthless. That's where I come in. So does this sound like you? Are you someone who wants to grow their company but always feels like marketing is more expense than it is profit? Be honest. Have you been stuck doing the same campaigns over and over and not seeing any improved results, or worse, a declining result? Do you feel like your competitors are eating your market share, or are you seeing your competitors dominate with a lower quality offering? Are you fed up that the company growth doesn't grow in proportion to the effort you put in, or even worse, the company's sliding backwards? Do you secretly believe there's an invisible ceiling on how big your company can grow? Or do you secretly believe that you're not capable but go through the motions anyway? Do you see your competitors running big campaigns that you know are expensive, which means that they must be getting a positive return on their investment? Does that make you jealous or resentful? Does that leave you questioning yourself or your own capabilities? Have you hired an agency or a consultant or invested in a course to reach your goals with nothing to show? Deep, deep down, do you secretly believe that you and your business are capable of so much more, but don't think you'll ever achieve it? The real problem is you're not working within an effective, proven marketing framework, a playbook, so to speak. Once you have a proven marketing framework, you'll know exactly which marketing campaigns you should be running. You'll have a clear success criteria for each campaign. You'll have a deep understanding of what's working and how to scale results. You'll execute the right campaigns at the right time, know exactly how to prioritize, and you'll gain more momentum with your brand and sales. You'll build a massive amount of confidence around your role in the company. Future campaigns will be simple, easy to deploy, and drive predictable results. You're going to realize the invisible ceiling on your business's growth was never even there to begin with, and build predictable growth fast. And you'll do all this while tapping back into the joy you first had when you started the company or joined the team. Here's a quick little example of what a framework will do for you. I like this energy diagram, and I see my lacrosse team here, by the way. Most companies are on the left. They have a lot of capacity, but they're being pulled in multiple different directions. What I want to show you today is how you can take all that energy and use this framework to focus it in one direction, like the one on the right, and get a better result. Sounds pretty simple, right? I'm not saying to get more team players, I'm just saying to get focused. Like with the lacrosse team, we could have a penalty and be playing what we call a man down situation. But with the right play, we could defend and possibly even score while the penalty was being served. It's all about focus. Before we get into the actual framework, let's talk about the functional business model, which is kind of all the ingredients that go into the marketing framework. Okay, so we're going to bust out some Venn diagram action. So looking at this one, if the goal here is predictable growth, which is in the middle, you have to have three things that get you there: strategy, talent, and leadership. Strategy can be broken down into the assets that you already have, mixed with what's working today. We combine these two to make up what we call right fit campaigns. So assets you have are like any ebooks or PDFs. Have you written a book? Do you have any podcast episodes? What are the digital assets that are available? And what marketing campaigns have you done before and what's working today? I can help with what's working today. It's one of the things I bring to the table because I've worked with businesses like yours. And then right fit campaigns are a mix of what's working today, mixed with the assets and capabilities and the kind of team that you have. That's how we come up with the right strategy. The next circle in the Venn diagram is talent. And for talent, you need capacity, competence, and momentum. A lot of companies have capacity, but they don't have competence. And maybe they have competence, but they don't have momentum. How do you get the momentum? Well, momentum comes from getting people aligned in the right direction. And really, it's in 2-week sprints, which we'll talk about later. But that's how you build momentum. So this diagram brings up questions like, do you have capacity in the organization? Is there anyone on your marketing team? How about on the competence side? How smart are they? And how good are they at marketing? Can they execute the campaigns flawlessly? Momentum. Do you have momentum? Do you feel like your team is moving forward or stalled and moving backwards? We can help here. Finally, the last circle of our Venn diagram is about leadership. So when it comes to leadership, you need to have direction, accountability, and focus. Direction is knowing which way to go. Accountability is ensuring the right things get done by the right people at the right time. And focus is ensuring that the right thing get done in the right order. These three tenets, strategy, talent, and leadership, must work in concert in order for it to be effective. So what happens when you have strategy and talent but no leadership? Well, then you're directionless. What happens if you have strategy and leadership but no talent? Well, you're legless. And what happens if you have talent and leadership but no strategy? Then you're headless. So ultimately, my question to you is this: is your business directionless, legless, or headless? What do you think? So let's keep moving and talk about the next component, momentum, which leads to predictable growth. If you don't have momentum, you don't have predictable growth. So how do we build momentum to get that predictable growth? So first we start with strategy. Strategy is king. It's the foundation of everything. In a minute, we'll dig deeper into strategy. Once you have a great strategy, then you need tracking. If you can't see or measure if something's not working, how do you know if it's working? How do you double down on the things that are working and stop the things that aren't? So this leads us to campaign execution. You have to be able to execute, and your team has got to execute campaigns flawlessly every time. You can't live in a world where your team doesn't execute those campaigns flawlessly. If you have issues, if you do a webinar and emails don't go out on time, or they've got broken links, or graphics are poor, or fonts drop, it doesn't matter. Anything else, and you're just never going to be able to have predictable growth until you have great execution. So once you have great execution, it's about testing different things. So execution means just doing one right, one webinar, one title, one audience, one email series. You just run it. Once you do that, then we start testing different elements. Test the title, test the audience, test the offer, things like that. Next, we get to systemization. You need to be systematic with all of your marketing. Once you've launched it and you've gotten through the testing phase, you want to be automatic. You want it to be routine in the organization. It can't require that much energy. It's like a flywheel. Once it's spinning, you just want to keep it going. You don't want to have to restart it. Finally, after systemization, you can scale. Scaling then gets you to predictable growth. But what's the most important thing? It's strategy at the bottom. So let's discuss strategy. This is the core of the work that I do as a fractional CMO, and to be perfectly honest, should be the core of any marketing leader. The functional marketing framework is 100% the DNA of your marketing strategy. So it starts with your vision. What is the vision of your business? Do you want it to grow? Do you want to grow 10x? Do you want to sell into private equity? Do you want to grow organically or through acquisition? Do you want to just make a little bit more money, but do a whole lot less work and just enjoy a lifestyle business? What's your vision? Speaking of vision, many of you may have seen this quote from Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese general, philosopher, and strategist, that's quite a mix, who wrote The Art of War. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. I've always loved that. And then I heard the following from a client of mine years ago. Vision without execution is hallucination, which just made me laugh. But to modernize that in the narrative of vision, I added a second line like a 21st century Sun Tzu would have, which is execution without vision is exasperation. Once we understand your vision, what are your strengths? What are the strengths of the team? What are your strengths? What are your strengths in the business? And what is the strength of the brand in the business? Once we understand your strengths, we can address what assets you have available. So lay them out for me. I want to see all the tools that are available for me to use. Just lay them all out, okay? This could be ebooks, it could be, past webinars, it could be email campaigns, all kinds of stuff. I just want to see all the assets that you have. Next is capabilities. What is your team? Who's on the team? What are they like? What's their capacity? What's their competence? What do they enjoy doing? Do you need to add more? Do you need to subtract? Or do some just need to be coached? Now that we understand your capability, we need to understand who your ideal customer is. If we were to work together, we'd go through a process to discover who that is. And it's the one that would pay you the most. It's the one that's the least pain in the butt, right? You want ideal customers that you can replicate and that don't suck energy out of your company and your team. Then we work on your positioning. If you're solving a problem for your ideal customer, how do you differentiate from your competition? That's really important, right? How is Domino's different from Papa John's? They both sell cheap pizzas, but Domino's has a USP. It's fresh and delivered in 30 minutes or it's free. So what's your positioning? How are you different? How do you differentiate? And we'll discover that together if we work together. Next is selling. Why selling and not marketing? Well, marketing is just salesmanship multiplied. And if we can't sell, we certainly can't market. So I don't want to lie to you and say we can do a great marketing campaign if you can't sell the product. So I want to intimately understand your sales process. I want to talk to your salespeople. I want to hear recorded calls of how they sell, if they sell over the phone. I want to understand your sales process. Put me on with your top salesperson and I'll be a fake prospect. and I'll just ask them a bunch of questions. You need to understand the sales process to be an effective marketer. Okay, now we move on to marketing. Marketing is where we think, how do we leverage sales? How do we multiply sales? What are all the different marketing campaigns that we can come up with that serve your ideal customer, solves a problem for them, and can broadcast your positioning? So finally, we scale the campaigns and potentially outsource some of them. Outsource is great once you've got a routine task that's developed, like an outbound marketing campaign, or you reach out to folks through cold email or LinkedIn or whatever. Once that's created as a routine, you can find possibly someone offshore potentially to do that at a much lower rate than someone local to you. So outsourcing is a great way to increase sustainability and the profitability of your business. So that's the functional marketing framework, which is a 90-day exercise. But that's fed into the ear loop, which is 4 different junctures that we meditate on with our clients every single quarter, and the first one is educate. For your business to grow, we need to educate prospects. One, they realize that they have a problem, that they realize solutions exist, and that your solution is superior. Education is awesome because you can be the only one that educates someone. They may not even know they have a problem, but if you introduce them to that problem, then you can provide a solution and there's no competition in their mind. That's great. The problem with education is that it's expensive. You're finding people who don't know that they have a problem, which means they have no urgency. So education is difficult, but it's also extremely valuable as it can introduce you solely as the answer to a problem that they didn't even know existed. After you educate someone to the fact that they have a problem and that there is a solution and that you're the superior solution, then you have to acquire them as a customer. When we say acquire, we mean how do we get traffic to leads, then leads to customers? What's that acquisition process? Do you have to generate a lead first? Do you go to generate a customer first? So we think, okay, what acquisition campaigns can be created to support you long term? Next is how to retain our customers. Peter Drucker says the point of a business is to get and keep a customer. Most businesses aim to just get customers, but I want you to keep them. The cost of acquisition is so much higher than retention, so how do we retain them? Are there ways to add continuity offers like a monthly fee or an ongoing service or something like that? How do we retain people? How do we sell a secondary product to them or even a tertiary product? What does your service look like? Do they come for the product and stay for the service? For example, my agency hosts websites, but through a third-party provider. Most of them provide similar products for us to use, but for me, customer service is what retains me as a client. Can I get through to them easily? Do I have to fill out a stupid ticket? How fast is the response time? These are all variables that go into my satisfaction as an ongoing client. Finally, how do you get referrals from your clients? Are you such a good vendor of theirs that you make them customer evangelists? Referrals are extremely qualified, warm leads that should be a cornerstone of your sales strategy. And you'll notice that it's a loop that feeds education, because once someone gets referred in, they need to be educated. At a minimum, they have to be educated that you're the superior solution and that they should buy from you. But they might also not know that they have a problem. All right, so let's put that all together. So here's what the functional marketing framework looks like. If we're to work together in the first 90 days, we're going to start here at the bottom and work our way up. We're going to start with vision, strengths, assets, capabilities, ideal customer, positioning, selling, marketing, and then scaling and possibly outsourcing. Ultimately, once that's completed in the first 90 days, and then every 90 days, every quarter thereafter, we're coming up with the marketing campaigns that we're testing and that we're running with. And we do that with the ear loop. Hopefully this all helps you a little. The hard way to build your marketing strategy is you can take some notes. You can go out and you can become an expert in everything like webinars and Twitter, also known as X, and LinkedIn marketing and cold email and marketing automation and Google search ads, Google display ads, Facebook ads, yada, yada, yada. Or you can just schedule a 15-minute meeting with me and touch base. I can give you some direction and see if maybe I'd be able to help you. And there's no cost at all to the call. But if you do think I'm able to help you, I can share what that might look like. And there's zero pressure here. If it sounds good to you, we can move forward. And if it doesn't, that's totally fine. I'm just thankful for your time and hope that I was able to give you some value with this. So to contact me, all you need to do is book a call with me here at lighthousemarketing.com/call. You can select a time and day that works for you and we'll get it set up. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.